Hello everyone, I am Melinda NailFanatic, and this is a personal reading for one of my YouTube viewers. I want to thank you all for viewing, and the information in this particular video is guided especially for my client, and sometimes you will find resonance in a personal reading because we all have similar stories. So with that being said, if you would like to have a personal reading done just for you in regards to your own situation and circumstances, you can follow the information below the video to send me an email or PayPal me. The cost of your reading is always the value of the information to you. So I always suggest that you do some meditation, prayer, or just some deep thought and figure out how valuable is this information to you. Make that the price of your reading. Send that in a PayPal with your contact information and your clear and specific questions, and I will reciprocate that energy back to you in the form of a reading in which I can read until we're finished. So I'm going to do this in two parts. This first part, we're going to talk about the situation with your family. So let's see, what are the messages for my client in regards to her family situation, what's on her heart, and what's in her mind. She wants to know about it. If it's a beneficial idea to hire a lawyer. So we'll look at that, and then we'll look at the situation overall. Love source God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the love source energy that enables us to have a strong connection to our own self, which allows us to receive messages in this way and in many other ways. There's so many different ways, and so I'm so grateful that we all have our own personal connection, and when we embrace it, it embraces us, and it allows us to do and understand things that we hadn't really realized that we were capable of. And so I'm really grateful for that. So first I want to know, let's see what's coming out of this deck, because we're going to talk about this family situation and whether or not a lawyer should be involved. Interestingly enough, the first card that comes out is the Justice card. So obviously we're dealing with a situation where, I mean, with the Justice card coming out immediately, my first thought is, yes, get a lawyer, because you will see justice if you get a lawyer. I'm also getting that in this, what's going on, you want to make sure that you stay focused on the facts, because the truth is the truth, and in this justice case, it is the truth that stands up tall, and then the balance comes in behind it, is what I'm getting. Let's see what else we need to know about this. We have the Emperor here, so that's interesting because, you know, the Emperor could be the paternal figure of the family. It could also be, if this has to do with somebody who has passed, their energy. And you know, I don't have a lot of details about the circumstances of the situation. I feel strongly, though, that this is a paternal family member, and the way these two cards are positioned, you won't be able to see it clearly in the camera, but the Emperor looks like he's glaring at the Justice, like, I don't want it. Let's see what comes out next. Oh, the Death card. So I feel like pursuing the legal situation is going to probably upset this other person, because it's going to bring in a change for them that they hadn't really depended on. And with the Queen of Swords here at the end of this, I feel like this is the last card for this part. With the Queen of Swords here, it's definitely saying you're definitely in a positive position with this, in a victorious position, and the truth will prevail. And so I definitely feel that it is to your advantage. I just want to get some more. Let's see what comes out below here. The Queen of Cups comes out below the Justice and the Emperor, and what I'm seeing there is you following your intuition to determine the best way to do this, and staying focused and using your spiritual abilities, because it's an emotional situation, and so what you're doing is the best you can to stay as balanced as you can, but you're definitely emotionally tuned into this situation. It's a bit of a challenge for you, I'm getting. And look at that, we have the Page of Pentacles that comes in next to who I received immediately, that this Queen of Cups is you in the situation. And it's interesting because the Page of Pentacles is coming out of the connection between the Death card and the Emperor. Again, further letting me know that like you're coming out victorious, because you're going to get messages of increase, the beginning of increase, the beginning of opportunities arising out of that for you. And I want to pull one more card here. The Death and the Queen of Swords is combined with the Hermit. And so what I'm getting from that is all of this whole situation that's going on for you is to help you follow that inner voice that you have been getting closer to allow that inner leader, that inner guidance that you've been keyed into, tuned into, to really hold its position and be your navigator right now. And so I also feel like this Death card, I just got shining the light on the situation. So the combination again with the Queen of Swords being that lawyer, judge person, lawyer and judge, or just somehow it plays in with the lawyer and the judge, is bringing about this whole change of circumstances that the Emperor is looking over and he's glaring at the Justice about. And so with that, it's like you're shining a light on what is true, shining a light on the reality of the situation, and bringing it forward is how you get this Queen of Swords outcome here. It really does look good for you to pursue this, in my opinion, and what I'm receiving. Love Source God, please let me speak any channeled messages that you have that are to be spoken to my client so that she can benefit herself and be able to follow the guidance that is pulling on her heart, because I know that you are receiving this information of what you should do. Inside, all you needed was confirmation. I get that strongly. And so Love Source God will allow me to speak to you the confirmation that you needed to hear. And really, I feel that that's what we have here. I want to do a past, present, and future over the top of this and just see. I'm not even going to shuffle. So past, we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about working hard, mastering your skills, and that I feel though, although that is what the Eight of Pentacles is about, I got very strongly, Lester Scott says, it's also about the monotony of the routine, the monotony of going about this path over and over and over again and doing the same thing over and over again, repetitive. I feel like yeah, there's some, yeah, this person, what they have done, they've been doing it for a long time. You're definitely not the first. Also, I just got that this situation stretches back 8 years. It's 8 years that you've been looking at this like, well, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I feel like in the beginning of this situation, you didn't really know what was going on, but there was something that felt off. And it took a while. So is it that she's known about it for 8 years, or that it's, okay, I'm getting stronger, that it's been going on for 8 years, but you've just not the full, you haven't known about it the full 8 years. You've maybe only known about it for 6 years, or maybe 6 years. Oh, okay, yeah. Or also that 6 years you didn't know about it, within the last 2 years this has really come to your attention. Maybe even today it's possible that with what I'm saying to you, this whole 8 years thing is like, whoa, I never heard that. So it might make you investigate further, and if that's the case, there's a reason why. So now let's pull another one here, the present. Yeah, conflict. The Five of Wands, there's a conflict, there's a challenge going on, and I have a strong feeling of the whole self-perseverance, and everybody's looking out for themselves right now. People are not willing to work together. Let me get a future. Oh, look at that. Strength. Are you a Leo? Like, I don't know what sign you are, but first thing that popped in my head when I saw this was Leo, and that could just be my own personal bias and past experience popping in. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to differentiate between which voice is speaking, but either way, the future of this is beautiful for you with the Strength card coming in. It's like, yes, 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 it's good for you. Go for it. Do it. It's good for you. And again, only if your heart is lining up with it, you know. Because in the end, this is your decision to make. Whether you choose to go forward with a lawyer or not to is entirely your decision. And it's going to affect you. But what you know and what I'm here to tell you is to confirm what your heart has been telling you. To confirm what the same source that's communicating with me right now has been communicating to you all along. Which, you know what it is. And so you were just looking for confirmation from me. And so that's all I'm here to provide for you. And I feel like you got the confirmation that you needed out of this. Look at that. The bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. What they call that card? You probably know. They call it the Wish card. And so it really looks to me as though pursuing this legal situation, with the first card out being Justice. I mean, seriously, honey, how much more clear can Love Source Scott get about answering your question? And with the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I'm just so excited for you. I have to peek and see what's below that. The Magician. Oh my God, I absolutely love this reading for you. You have the Nine of Cups and the Magician at the base of this reading. You can have whatever you want. Stick to the truth. Use your mental powers in your benefit. If you are into watching tarot readings and you're into following your own inner intuition and your own inner voice, then you know that the mind has much power. And so also, okay, Love Source God says to remind you that it's the time of Jupiter in Libra. And when I first found out about this interesting planetary positioning, I did some investigation on it. And so right now what I just received was to remind you that during this year is the time of Jupiter in Libra. And Libra is about bringing in the balance. And here's the Libra card here. And so, and Jupiter is about the increase and the surprise and the luck and the fortune. And so I really feel like you have good fortune all over this situation. And okay, so practical advice before we finish out this first part, and make sure you stay tuned for the second part. But the practical advice would be to know and realize and investigate, why do you know that everything is always working out for you? Why do you know that the truth always prevails? How do you know? And just focus on positive outcomes, because if you do that, you lending your energy to what the universe wants to provide for you here. And if you focus too much on what he has going for him, or what could possibly go wrong, you know, the ideas you play with in your head, you're lending your energy to those becoming physically manifest. So only lend your energy to the outcome that you want to see. And according to this reading, you're going to see it, baby. You're going to see every bit of justice that you deserve. So I'll be back with the second part for your personal reading in regards to your romance.